Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
You've already competed twice this year. You know what I mean? Like most, I don't say most, but a lot of guys that are competing on the Contender Series, they're kind of like waiting around for that opportunity. How big is it for you to be able to have two fights already in and not, be stagnant, so to say?
It's big. I think the timing was just there. Like, if my career had been like moved along like 5-6 months faster, like maybe I would have ended up waiting. But I think I was 4-1 around this time last year, and that's a little too green to be going on there for most people. Then fall was slow, nothing came up, and I was lucky to rattle off a couple of wins in January and April, and that was perfect timing. So I could get a nice long camp in, like full 8 weeks, which I usually don't do. Most of my fights are like 4 to 5 week notice max, maybe even a couple of weeks, which is nice. Like those are nice.
Definitely. And the two fights you had this year, they were both first round finishes. It's nice to go through a camp and get in there and get out of there in the first round, especially with I guess the opportunities that's going to come up if you do win. And how were you feeling after that last one? After the one against Adlin Benson.
Man, I don't think I've ever hit anyone that hard with my fists before. I was like, a couple times I was like, oh fuck! Like, I hope the ref gets here, because like you're not supposed to stop until you get pulled off. But like, I don't tee off on teammates in training, and usually I'm landing, my hardest shots with my feet or something. So that was, that was kind of cool.
Definitely, man. And like physically though, how were you feeling afterwards?
Oh, I'm feeling great. Yeah, I'm feeling great. Was able to relax for a little bit after that. I mean, I'm always in the gym though, because I don't have too many other hobbies. I'm like literally just sitting around the house, unless it's like deer season or something. That's only in November. So like if it's warm out, all I pretty much have to do is like go to the gym or like I don't know, go out drinking.
Those are some nice options.
Go see like the Brewers or something. Yeah, I mean that's what you do in Milwaukee, man. We got like a bunch of summer festivals, baseball games, and that's good. It's a good time in the summer, but
yeah,
I've pretty much just been in the gym.
Nice. You explaining yourself and how you are. You must have went crazy during the pandemic then, because you had to be just locked in most of the time, at least.
Yeah, I mean, we had a little basement gym going. I mean, now it's kind of just dangerous to have, because I feel like, late at night, maybe they have some like teammates over or like some like old wrestling pals. It's like, hey, motherfucker, like I'll still take your ass down. And so actually having mats in the basement is dangerous now, but it was super useful during COVID. It was the whole distancing. It was like, fuck that, we're still training. And we were able to get fights in during COVID too.
How much do you think you improved during that time? Because a lot of people improved during that pandemic time, especially guys with like basement gyms or just like, sneaking off together, like secretly to trade together. And what was your situation like?
Oh, a ton. For me, it just helped with not. I mean, I was still, like 2020. I started training like 2019. That was big in just developing my ability to like kind of take contact and return with it, because I'm in a tight basement. You can't be like moving around. Like everything's like kind of just right in front of you. Other like putting it, and we would spot it down there too, which like we had to be real careful about, because like walls were still fucking concrete and stuff.
But what do you think you developed on? You mentioned like like it was early in your career, right? And I think a lot of people, they don't realize that getting punched in the face is not something that you got to get used to that, right? That constant like
Oh yeah,
impact, right? Like I don't describe that to us.
Absolutely.
Someone that doesn't fight, describe it.
Man, I remember the first time I got punched in the face. I was working a door, kicking some guy out because he kept walking out with a drink, which you could not be doing. And I looked down and say, hey, like to like look at my phone, and go, hey, motherfucker, I'm calling the cops. And like the oil just kind of went like, whoop, it was kind of like spun for a second. I was like, what the fuck was that? And I look at the dude's like running off down the street, and I'm like, whoop. So I'm like, dude, he just jacked you in the face. I'm like, what? And like, shit, I got the video of it still. But yeah, it's the fucking cleanest right hand. Bounced my head off the door. But yeah, I'd never been hit before. I had no fucking clue. Like it's a foreign feeling. Especially if it's to your like head. You know what I mean? Like getting hit to the body or the arms is something that's different. Or like absorbing, like, taking kicks on your forearm, that's all something. But getting hit and where it like spins your head, that's if that has never happened to you before or you're not used to it, it's like, it makes you delirious, damn near.
Panic could set in for a lot of people.
Yeah, no, who'd think hitting the head fucking is not good?
Yeah, who'd have thought brain damage is not good? You know what I mean?
It's fucking crazy. We should patent this idea.
Yeah. Make a movie or something about it. Concussion.
Yeah, exactly. What's Will Smith doing?
Yeah. What's he's busy. He's got problems. Now,
He helped someone out too.
Now, I wanted to go back to your debut, man, because you got a 24-second Von Flue choke. Like usually you never see that as a debut, like pro debut finish.
Yeah.
Like, how did that come together? Is that something that you really worked on, Von Flue chokes?
Not really. I just knew the guy was usually fighting at like heavyweight. I think it was a heavyweight fight, actually, if I remember. But yeah, it's just a dude with giant hands. And I was like, I'm not getting fucking hit by this guy. Like, you know what I mean? I'm shooting in and getting my fucking win and getting out of here. And he just went for the guillotine off like a single leg with my head on the inside. And I got my legs over. He stayed there. And I Von Flued him. I think there was like a protest or something afterwards. It was a weird fight. But then I ended up bouncing my head off the ceiling of that bar that we were fighting in later that night. I was jumping to see because there's like a low spot and then like a high spot. A low spot's where like the upper deck's on top of it. It's a cool spot. But another fight went to the ground, and so I could like get elevation and see what they were doing. I jumped up and nailed my head on this metal beam, and just it looked like a fake WWE blood was just coming down my face.
Damn.
And everyone's like, "What the fuck? Like, you didn't even get hit, man! Like, what's going on here?" It's like, I know, I jumped, I hit my head. I'm sorry.
You're more of a danger to yourself than other people are a danger to you.
Apparently, that's spurred my life.
Now, you mentioned that that fight was at heavyweight, right? That was your first pro fight at heavyweight, and you kind of like went from heavyweight to light heavyweight, and now you are at middleweight. Like, why was that progression?
Well, like regional scene, like amateur and like early pro career. I feel like upper weights you can kind of jump around a lot. Yeah, I mean, you'll see like 135 guys even jumping up to fight heavyweight, not heavy, lightweights. If it's like a short notice or something, they need either fight in, or maybe there's like a skill difference, so you go up in weight, and that's super common on the regional scene. And then my second one was on like 4 hours notice, so that one I was not getting down to middleweight that day.
How much did you weigh for that heavyweight fight? Do you remember?
I think I was like, I was definitely over light heavyweight.
Okay.
Like, I mean, I was definitely in the heavyweight weight class. I might have been like 207 or something like that.
Okay.
I'm not sure how big the other guy was.
Do you still walk around that
big,
about
he
that
wasn't
size?
Big heavy. It wasn't a big. Yeah, I mean, that guy wasn't a big heavyweight though.
Yeah. Okay.
It was a regional dude that didn't cut.
Okay. I was thinking like the dude's like 260 or something, and you just walking in.
No, and I had an amateur fight at heavyweight too. That was supposed to be at light heavyweight. It was maybe 195, and the dude showed up like 215, and it's like, well, we're here. And if you're at 215, you obviously didn't fucking train,
Yeah.
and I still need to go get in there and get some experience. So like, we're fighting.
It's incredible, man. And let's get into the opportunity you got, man, on August 13th, Contender
Yeah.
Series. You're taking on Mansur Abdul-Malik. Thoughts on him and his fighting style?
Just explosive, athletic, quick finisher. And that's about it. I mean, there's not really too much film on him,
Yeah. Very quick
but
finishes, right? All of
between
them.
Tapology and I don't think he's been to the second round yet.
No, he
So
hasn't.
that's something about his skills, but also I'm not sure if he has like I'm not sure if he has 15 minutes of fight time.
Yeah. But then you got to look at the
I don't
competition,
know.
right?
I haven't done
You got to
that.
also look at the competition, right? Like who he's fighting as well.
Yeah, they're not killers, but 5 first round finishes, 5 first round finishes.
Yeah, true. It looks nice.
Got him a shot in the Contender Series, and we're the main event, so they like one of us.
They do. Well, they like both of you. That's why they're making you guys fight each other.
True.
And
I mean, like, I feel like.
go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, like, there's always like, I feel like sometimes you'll see matches, no matter what promotion, where it's like, oh man, one guy's getting fucking thrown to the dogs here.
Yeah.
And I don't really see either of us being thrown to dogs.
No.
You know what I mean? Seems like a fucking fair fight on paper.
Yeah, for sure. And you guys, have very, similar amount of fights, and you guys are both finishers and quick finishers. So
Well, I think he only has one amateur fight.
he only has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got like 6, 7, and that's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you'll see like dudes from overseas have like 20 something pro fights before getting into the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, do they have fucking amateur careers? I feel like that's a shitload of fights.
It is a lot of fights.
Like, I feel like we just don't count like half, like a good portion of the fights getting started. You know what I mean?
Possibly.
Like, yeah, like I'm only 6'1" as a pro, but like I've still walked to the cage 14 fucking times.
And the team around you, man. Talk about the team and who's helping you prepare for this Contender Series fight.
We got a shitload of real good middleweights, a couple good welterweights. No one really that heavy, but I got a good team at Pura Vida. I got my main training partners, Nick Klein, Dylan Diebitz, and Brian Sullivan, and Andrew Henschel. I'll throw him in there. All big athletic guys. I think Dylan and Klein are kind of on the cusp. Well, in pretty similar spots in their careers. Brian's a bit green at pro, but still good. He went out with us to train out at Extreme Couture's last October. That was a good time. And then I'll get some grappling work in with Dan Borovic over at Primal MKE in West Dallas. And he's got to be like one of the best fucking black belts in the Midwest. His jiu-jitsu is incredible.
But there's a difference though, right?
No one followed.
But there's a difference though, right? With guys that are like jiu-jitsu guys, and then there's guys that have
hell yeah,
the game for MMA jiu-jitsu, right?
No, it's completely different. And like I'll catch myself like just if I'm rolling with guys, just moving them to the fence or doing stuff, looking for like more. I'm not hitting them, but looking for MMA stuff. I'm thinking like, oh fuck, I'm not passing or doing anything here. But as long as you know how to get your work out of dudes that are pure jiu-jitsu guys, it can be really beneficial. I feel you just gotta know how to roll with them. I mean, yeah. If you're out of camp, I guess you can be playing the like jiu-jitsu back and goofy stuff. But when I'm in a fight camp, I'm thinking top is king all the time.
What are you expecting out of yourself? In this fight coming up, I'm pretty sure. Do you put pressure on yourself? Is that something that you do, or do you feel like, dude, this is fighting? I've done it a bunch of times. It's the next one.
I mean, I feel like it's always there, but I usually have, even like through my wrestling career, like I always pretty much show up. I'm not someone that'll like train and be perfect in the gym and then go out and shit the bed in a match. I feel like I always bring my A game. I'm not even like a training room hero, wrestling room hero. Like I feel like the best part of me comes out during fights or competition. So it's just nice to have that.
Yeah, I've seen that with certain fighters, like visiting gyms and you talk to fighters and you talk to coaches and they're like, yeah, that guy right there, it doesn't look like he's doing much in training, but when you watch his fights, man, he's just like he hits another gear, like he shows another person in there, basically. Is that what you're explaining?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's some people are always trying to win in the gym, so they're never growing. Like I'm not afraid to like try new things or like, we were showing a technique today. Like try to hit that in the next sparring session. Like you might get fucking tagged using it, or you might get subbed to using it, but it's training. Like I don't give a shit. Yeah, I mean, if I lose or get hit, like it's depending on who I'm facing. If I'm if I'm sparring with someone who's a fucking gym here, it's like okay, I can't get hit here. It's gonna fucking hurt. You know what I mean? Do you train at all?
Yeah.
Or have you trained?
Yeah, I've trained
So
pretty much
there's some
everything.
people that so there's some people that's like, okay, let's not try a new shit on him because he's gonna make me fucking pay.
Yeah, you're
But
right.
then there's more like the chill people that you get your work in with,
Yeah.
you try new things, and a little more playful.
You could kind of tell in the first like 15 seconds, I think. First 10, 15 seconds if
Oh,
this guy's
fuck
gonna what type of guy, because you meet people you never met before and you just end up partnering up with them and sparring and you're like, all right, let's see. And
Oh
then
hell yeah! Or if you like look over and like they're giving someone the business, so like someone must have hit them first, and you get them next, and like oh you fucking did you leave that in the last round, or are you bringing that with you to me?
yeah, true. Yeah, man.
But sometimes it's one of those days, and
What's your expectations, man, in this fight coming up? Like, how do you want to perform?
I mean, ideally quickly. Ideally, you get a first round finish every time. I think we're gonna meet in the middle and fucking bang this out, and someone's gonna get tagged and start going for takedowns. I think that's gonna be. I feel like whenever there's two dudes with pretty good grappling, that's kind of how it works. Because both guys are thinking like, fuck, like takedowns are a lot of work. I might get back up. Like, let's just have a gunfight.
And you're a middleweight, you get signed, you'll be joining the middleweight division. And when you look at the middleweight division at the top, it's just pretty much a lot of strikers, right? Not many grapplers, base guys.
Not too many.
It's kind of a trip, right? Because other
Yeah.
divisions have like a
I mean,
mixture.
Yeah, I mean, I think other divisions are deeper too.
Okay.
I mean, I always feel like most athletic dudes over like 6 foot, like they're gonna go join the NFL or something with like more money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so, like little guys don't have that
No.
fucking choice, so they gotta do something like this. So like, there's way more athletic little people. I hate admitting, but I mean that's a real thing.
It is.
I mean, you'll see heavyweights that go far that are like,
yeah,
they're fucking huge. I'm not gonna say shit to them, but they're not exactly. Maybe they're in the gym 3-4 times a week. Like,
yeah. Everybody knows the heavyweight structure of camp, right?
Yeah.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, the fucking. I can't say it's peak for performance. Maybe for them, but
yeah, you never know. Anyways, August 13th, Contender Series in Las Vegas. Wes, thank you, man, so much for taking the time. It was a good chat. All the best in the fight coming up, and yeah, man, we'll hopefully see you in the octagon soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. This was fun.